Have fun with the weekend's highlights of the European League of Football, presented by Ghazi, the official main sponsor of the ELF.
Hertz approaches, and we are underway. Kick driven through the end zone for a touchback. No play possible for Alexander. In fact, Dunker had tackled him for a loss. It'll be 2nd 11 now for the Fire. The give once again to Counties much more success this time past the 40 out to the 45-yard line. After being contracted through the end of next year, by the way, as the new OC for the Rhein Fire. Jeffries, guns right over the middle, wide open. This is not even going to be a foot race. This is going to be an afternoon stroll into the end zone. Rhein Fire draw first blood, and who other than Harlan Coffey. Strong is with the playbook, but he just dialed up a beauty. Chad Jeffries and Harlan Kofi, as though they were throwing the ball now inside Rhein Fire territory. Horn resets, camps out on the near side. Holmes, play action fake, looking deep for Reese. Horn, touchdown, Vikings! Blow your horn, Reese. I don't know what that touchdown celly was all about. Looked like they were blowing up one of those rockets we used to get as kids with the water pressure, but whatever the case may be. Jeffries unable to convert because draped all over him like a cheap sports coat was the Finn Timmy Noika. Back on offense, starting this drive from the own 32-yard line. Jeffries under center. Does give the ball indeed off and run up the middle. This time a look at Jonathan Scott. And once again, Scott picking up where he's left off. He's just continuing to make a name for himself in this yards. Mind you, not stellar numbers by anyone's account. Does share that time with Henderson. Oh my goodness, he's making a case to carry more of the rock, even more, as he is now deep down into Viking territory. Pooch stays in at fullback, but Jeffries will try to sneak it in himself. There's a flag down. The loose ball, irrelevant. Hands go up to signify pro forma a touchdown. Vienna. And those Vikings and their quarterback Ben Holmes now have the football, snapping it from their own 23-yard line. Aaron snap, Holmes picks it up and throws it downfield. Just standing on business, my friend, standing on business. As Holmes loads up, no he's not, he's going to get unloaded on himself as time ran out on Reese Holmes. Watch Dennis Tasich attempt a 42-yard field goal. Tassich's kick, re-entering orbit, is good, and the Vikings managed to salvage a three-pointer for their efforts. Delivered from his own 43-yard line. Fire quarterback in trouble, Fire quarterback down. It'd take me a down or two to get through his palmadas. As Jeffries flushed out of the pocket, he's going to take it himself. Got first down yardage and more. It's left to bridge to perhaps notch up yet another score before it's all said and done for the first half of play. Jeffries trying to score right here on the first attempt and after the 2-minute warning with a three-pointer. Ball be placed on the 19-yard line. That's going to make it a 29-yard attempt for Hagi. And I'll tell you what, they don't go down the middle any better than when Hagi kicks them. Then, fresh off the bye week, made a little trip to Rome, Italy. And Holmes not throwing a coin in the fountain, in the Trevi fountain, but throwing a nice ball upfield to Bierbaumer. Intriguing art over the years. Holmes trying to make the quarterbacking art even more simple. Just takes off running and picks up the first down the old-fashioned way. Holmes floats one to the end zone. Touchdown, Rhein. When in doubt, sun's out, guns out. Rhein with the first score of the second half and making it look all so easy. Working against the veteran Frenchman, Tony Anderson. And let's see what Nick Johnson has dialed up for the two-point try. Holmes, and easy does it. Well, they got him the touchdown. Why not the two-point conversion? Rhein with the two-pointer, and we are all tied up. Coffee doubles back in motion. And it's all overloaded to the Rhein Fire side of the field, and yet here comes Jeffries back to our side, and he is in big trouble. Noah Swankard drops him. Still fairly deep in their own territory. They're going to need to pick up all five to justify and staying out there on the field. Well, ask and you shall receive. That's the message that Ben Holmes heard at St. Peter's Square last week in Rome in the bye week. Drops one into Rhein, and Horn will sashay into the end zone. Watch the move, watch the protection that Schutz gives Holmes. And for those of you who don't speak German, Schutz means exactly that, protection. And flanking his quarterback and keeping him upright, allowing Holmes to locate Rhein and then just float one into his awaiting fingers. Get up and about and make life miserable for Jeffries, a signal caller, standing in his own end zone. Jeffries trying to throw out of that end zone. He's going to be sacked. Safety. Took him a second to find the way, but lucky Oberfo, and no luck about it. So there's a couple guys on the team, you're not really sure what they do. Jeffries is intercepted in the end. He was trying to get the ball into the hands of Jonathan Scott, who couldn't get the handle on it. You know, one guy starts, next thing you know, you got guys hiking over the hills to come help you. Ooh, well, speaking of needing some help, Dennis Tosic needs a whole lot of help, and he has just made a meal out of a very difficult situation. Darius Nash scoops up the Wilson and takes it into the end zone for a presumed touchdown. Yeah, as we look at it, ball snapped cleanly over the head of Dennis Tosh. This is the worst feeling in the world's on the 5. Now he thought about kicking it out of the end zone. He picks up and tries to kick it. Yeah, fine, but don't kick it into an opponent. Lots of activity down here to the near side of the formation. Jeffries throwing long over the middle of the field. Harlan Quaffey, catch! Ball will be placed on or about the 10-yard line. Number 10 with a big grab. Hagi has really been nailing it today. 25-yard kick is, as promised, down the middle and good. 2nd and 5, and keep an eye on that clock, sponsored by our good friends at Citizen Watches. It's just galloping along. Ooh, time has just stood still for Holmes, and things are looking very perilous indeed. How they can change in a second. Rhein Fire pick up a loose ball and run it back into the end zone for the touchdown. And the Rhein Fire have really just dealt the Vikings a blow. And is it or will it prove to be the knockout blow? Time will tell. Tries to pad the lead. Certainly not that they don't trust their kicker, but they'd like to get a 2-point conversion here, and they won't. Defensive effort by the Vienna Vikings. Dino Schroeder runs it back into the end zone, and the rest is history. And Kiki Klipsch telling Rhein that it's going to be okay, but those words are not spent well at the moment on Rhein.